not underestimate me, Gildersnake, for I am Luce, the human,
Hunter of monsters, child of the human realm, student of the demon realm, and warrior of peace! Now eat this, sucker!
It's been over 2 weeks since the Owl House finale aired, and despite that, it's still very fresh in my mind. Although I had a lot to say in my previous video, which apparently is the longest video I ever made for this channel, I still have more to say. If you haven't watched that video yet, I'll leave a link to it in the description, but to sum up what I said before, I thought it was a phenomenal finale. Lots of iconic moments, ranging from very funny to heart-wrenching, the animation is beautiful, then of course, the actual ending is really good. And what's great about it is that it's a happy ending, unlike Weirdmageddon and The Hardest Thing, which had bittersweet endings. Although that does not necessarily mean it's the best ending in my opinion, but I'll explain that at another time. Overall, it's a well done finale, but it has some noteworthy flaws, and most of these flaws generally stem from Disney's decision to cut the show short. The biggest flaw that I really noticed with this finale is, well, all the things that we should have seen in the final episode but didn't. For example, we did not see confirmation whether Evelyn was a Clawthorn ancestor. I get that this is something that ultimately would not make much of a difference with the show's story, and there are a lot of clues throughout the show to hint towards it to basically be almost confirmed. But considering this is one of the most popular theories the show had, it would have been great if we got closure with it, and have at least one character mention this connection. Another thing that I wish we saw in this finale was Caleb. Given how Caleb is one of the driving reasons for Belos to do his terrible acts, I would have expected Caleb to appear one last time in front of Belos before he got stomped. To be fair to the crew, Belos' death was overall satisfying and well deserved, but let's be honest, he definitely deserved a lot more. Another thing that was missing were the punishments for the show's smaller protagonists like Odalia and Kikimora. Sure, we did see them in the finale, and we did get to see Kikimora in the epilogue, but given how they were still selfish assholes in For the Future, and they contributed nothing to save the Boiling Isles from Belos, it would have been more satisfying to see them get what they deserved as well, similar to how Belos got what he deserved. It would have been good to at least see them just pay for their crimes like being imprisoned in the Conformatorium, for example. Last thing I'll mention that I wish we saw but didn't is a dialogue exchange between Camila and Ida. Again, to be fair, seeing the two characters just interact in general is nice to see, and I'll take whatever interaction we can get. But again, this is the first time they ever meet up. So seeing this interaction be essentially shoved in with Luce's monologue made this highly anticipated interaction rather underwhelming. I can go on with other things that I wished we saw, but the point I'm making is that Disney really squandered the pacing of the Owl House, which is a shame because that's actually one of the show's main strengths compared to other shows like Amphibia. For most of the show, the Owl House did a rather good job fleshing out its storylines and told them in a way that did not feel very slow or fast-paced. I know there are probably some people who will complain about filler in the Owl House, but I know those people are much smaller in number compared to those who complain about filler in Amphibia. That said, when Season 3 came, pacing went out of the window because the crew was forced to do so. To make up for the lost time, the crew resorted to time skips and montages to tell the more trivial parts of the show's story, like Luz and her friends' adventures on Earth and the Collector's games. Credit where it's due though, these montages do a good job speedrunning us through the characters' development during this time, but do I still prefer to see full episodes on these developments? Yes, I do. Why? Because the lack of character development kind of ruined my interest with these characters, to a certain degree at least. The character that got affected by this problem the most, in my opinion, is the Collector. To be clear, I don't hate the Collector as a character. I do think they are great, and he has a surprising amount of depth. Thankfully, we did get a backstory of some sort in the finale. But despite all of that, they still feel somewhat of a shallow character compared to the main cast. If the show had a full Season 3, the Collector would definitely feel like a more full character, but instead he felt more of a character of convenience. He's essentially there to be a plot device for other characters to form their actions around them. Belos used the Collector to attempt to wipe out everyone in the Boiling Isles using the Draining Spell. King wants the Collector to stop the said Draining Spell. Luz wants to save King from the Collector. Belos wants to possess the Collector, except not really because they accidentally revealed how the Titan itself is more powerful than they are. Luz wanted them to blast away Belos, but when they decided to hug him instead, Luz had to sacrifice herself, which would in turn allow her to get the powers needed to actually defeat Belos. On one hand, that does make the Collector technically important to the show's story, but it feels rather forced and undeserved the more I think about it. And part of that is due to his late introduction. They were only first mentioned in the second half of Season 2, and he made his first real appearance in physical form towards the end of the Season 2 finale. That left just 2 episodes for us to see him and enjoy his presence on screen, considering that thanks to them, we did not even see them at all. Which is just not enough to really like a character in my opinion. Overall, Watching and Dreaming is still a great finale, and given the limitations Disney imposed on the crew, it turned out a lot better than what I was expecting. But those limitations still left an impact on how Season 3 went and prevented the show from reaching its absolute potential. I personally believe that if Season 3 was not cut short, I would likely be saying The Owl House is my favorite show with the best series finale. But instead, that title of personal favorite show and favorite finale still goes to Amphibia, which is something that I'll explain in another video. But for now, those are my thoughts. What did you guys wish to see in the Owl House finale? Or did you get to see everything you wanted to see? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more content like this. Also, thanks again to those who support this channel through YouTube memberships and Patreon, along with everyone else who watches these videos. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have a great day. See you in the next one.